It's 1 West, 1 2 5th.
They let the priests in the building.
In the building.
They let the priests in the building.
In the building.
They let the priests in the building. This is
1 West, 1 2 5th.
They let the priests in the building.
In the building.
They let the priests in the building.
In the building.
They let the priests in the building, nigga. Beards, braids, and boots, even though I got a bald head, long nose. Pistol, I feel that bitch with bald heads, all prank. Tissue pulling out that boy's head. Shit's chopped. Looking like a bulls at a street fight, 2 hands faster than the Honda. You don't want no problems, roll up on you like Blanca. 1 West, that's the mantra. Red headband with a spray gun like Contra. Check your attitude, the gear stretch, longitude, the latitude.
Come on.
I'm a priest, bitch, so some fucking gratitude. Could tell I'm 1 West by the way I walk, way I talk. 125th straight New York.
Ballin', nigga.
And I'ma rep it to the death of me. I die for the guy on the right or the left of me. You turn into beast mode, I turn into priest mode. Get to knocking niggas out like cranks for thinking they default.
It's 1 West, 1 2 5th.
They let the priests in the building.
In the building.
They let the priests in the building.
In the building.
They let the priests in the building. This is
1 West, 1 2 5th.
They let the priests in the building.
In the building.
They let the priests in the building.
In the building.
They let the priests in the building, niggas. Hardcore, men at war. I just follow Captain Yachty, with him I go. I might lose my shit for him I blow and get to picking niggas off through that one-eye scope. We got a garment down to the foot, girdle around the paps, not a scuff on the boot.
Yeah, yeah.
You niggas try and look tough and look cute while we rock rough and stuff until you're stuffed and loose. Been held back too long, now we busting loose, breaking down the barriers, this destructive truth. I was talking to a dumb nigga rhyme and he said we the Israelites, that's no denying. I said yeah, but you ain't in compliance, you trying to be Kyrie, I'm trying to be General Muhammad.
That's right.
It make me want to break a nigga's spine and do what a doc ain't even fucking realign him. I get a nigga to get a nigga on consignment.
It's 1 West, 1 2 5th.
They let the priests in the building.
In the building.
They let the priests in the building.
In the building.
They let the priests in the building. This is
1 West, 1 2 5th.
They let the priests in the building.
In the building.
They let the priests in the building.
In the building.
They let the priests in the building, nigga. It's the truth, it's the home.
Home of the truth.
When niggas ain't gotta roam.
Yeah, yeah.
When niggas ain't gotta die alone. Put a nigga on both sides, you ain't gotta die alone. Be like, that nigga deader than a motherfucker. I brought my sword back wetter than a motherfucker. Fuck the turtles. I'm shredded like a motherfucker in this gym trying to get shredded like a motherfucker. The loose can and the firebomb, everything on this gun custom like a Dawana, Paula Wanyala, the Kwa, Ratan, the Mafia, Yahaja, Malakati, Yaganan.
Let's go.
They let the priests in the building, nigga, waking up on people. Even when we chillin', nigga, fuck them fake camps, better get with the realer niggas. For Christ comes back and say, kill them niggas.
All right, go ahead and clap it up. Shalom to Israel, we're the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Started out on 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under the command of General Yohana. It's his ISUPK Austin Tuesday Brotherhood class. Brotherhood and sisterhood is a weapon. Brotherhood and sisterhood is exactly what so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians need. We need that brother and that sisterhood so we can get up out of these conditions that we're in. So we can get up out of these mindsets that we are in. So we can get up out of this oppression that we're in. It is not going to happen without brotherhood and sisterhood. It is not going to happen without us being a nation, okay? Being an actual nation, coming together under one body. That is important. Everybody want to be out here doing their own thing or leaning on their own understanding. All right, the scriptures say lean not on their own understanding. Okay? And what we need to do, us men, the men, the so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Indian men, we need to be warriors. Okay? We need to be warriors and ready to defend everything that we love, everything that is ours. Okay? And you can't do that with that feminine spirit that the Christian church puts in us. All right? That Christian church just takes away your very essence of a man, because it takes away your fight. All right? It takes it all the way away, and then that's why you have all these subservient, effeminate, soft, tender, moist, delicate men running around here. All right. So today we're going to get into a little bit into King David. Because King David was a warrior. Okay. And that's what the men in this school are. We are warriors. Preaching prophets in Israelite School, University of Practical Knowledge. We are warriors. We are soldiers. Okay. For the Lord's army, the host of the Lord.
All right.
We're gonna start at Ruth. Yeah, Ruth 4:13. We'll get a little bit of context. Okay? Because you are the seed of your father. And through this seed, this is how generations are passed down. Okay? They are passed down through seeds. We know that Christ, he comes from the seed of David. Okay?
4:13.
4:13.
All right, let me share it on the screen. It's the book of Ruth, chapter 4, verse 14.
13.
13.
Yeah, God.
It's the book of Ruth, chapter 4, verse 13. So Boaz took Ruth, and she was his wife. And when he went in unto her, the Lord gave her conception, and she bare a son. Verse 14. And the woman said unto Naomi, Blessed be the Lord, which had not left thee this day without a kinsman, that his name may be famous in Yasharallah.
See? So Naomi, she is going to bear a seed. And through that seed, is going to come people famous in Israel. All right? Through this seed. Just like today. Today we got famous people. Well, we got LeBron James, we got Jay-Z's, we have all kinds of people, right? That people look up to. Well, one day, them famous people that you're going to look up to is going to be the famous people in Israel, the famous people who follow the Lord, the priests and prophets of the Most High. Okay? But it says that through this, that his name may be famous in Israel. All right. So through this seed is what's going to come. Let's see what's going to come. Continue reading.
Verse 15. And he shall be unto thee a restorer of thy life, and a nourisher of thine old age, for thy daughter-in-law, which loveth thee, which is better to thee than 7 sons, hath borne him.
See, through this man, through this seed, through this baby, this is better than having, what did it say right there? How many? 7 sons.
7.
It's better than having 7 sons. Because what's going to come out of this seed, what's going to come out of this seed is going to be something great and grand. And you know, in most cultures and most everything, but us right now being under the oppression of our oppressor, your name means something.
Right.
You know, in our community, you don't care about the name. You'll go stick your rod in any chick. You'll let any man stick his rod into you because none of us know who the hell our family is. None of us know our daddy. None of us know our uncle. None of us know anything about our family. Okay? Well, there was a time where your family was very important. And people wouldn't want to be joined to you if you didn't come from a reputable family, if you didn't come from an honorable family.
Right.
You don't want to tie yourself to people that didn't have a high name, all right, didn't have any dignity. You didn't want that. You wanted to attack yourself. Just like in these other communities, when they're giving their daughters away, trying to give them to somebody who comes from a prominent family name. Okay? Well, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we need to understand that we come from a prominent family. Yasharallah.
Right.
Okay? We are the Lord's chosen people. We are the best family on this earth. So we need to get some dignity. We need to get some honor. Okay? Continue reading.
Yeah, I'll see y'all gonna know.
All right, Most High in Christ.
Verse 16. And Naomi took the child and laid it in her bosom and became nursing unto it. Verse 17. And the woman, her neighbors, gave it a name, saying, there is a son born to Naomi. And they called his name Obed. He is the father of Jesse, the father of David.
You see how this seed is being passed down? It went from Obed to Jesse, to David. Okay? This seed is being passed down. This is important. This is lineage. This is where the Lord chose that Christ would come up out of David's loins. So David was very important. All right? Continue reading.
Verse 18. Now these are the generations of Pharez. Pharez begot Hezron. Verse 19. And Hezron begot Ram. And Ram begot Amminadab. Verse 20. And Amminadab begot Nahshon. And Nahshon begot Solomon. And Solomon begot Boaz. And Boaz begot Obed. And Obed begot Jesse. And Jesse begot David.
See, this is just like a little rundown. You know, you get in there and it runs down into Christ, it runs all the way down. These lineages, this seed that was passed, okay? The seed that was passed through generations and generations. These men having children and passing that seed along, okay? All the way to David, all the way to Christ, okay? Give me 1 Samuel 16:1. We got to understand something about King David. David was definitely famous in Israel. It said somebody gonna come and be famous, and Christ is definitely most definitely famous in Israel.
Right.
Okay? That's why that seed being passed matters. It absolutely matters. It's absolutely necessary to keep that stock going.
One is you come along
What?
the value. Man, see, how can
You
I
can choose whatever that noise is.
I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Go ahead, 1 Samuel 16:1.
This is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 16, verse 1. And the Lord said unto Samuel, how long wilt thou mourn for Saul, seeing I have rejected him for reigning over Israel?
See, the Lord saying, how long will I mourn for Saul? Tell this to Samuel. See, and I have rejected him from reigning over Israel. You see, it would have all came through Saul's lineage, but he didn't listen to what the Lord said. The Lord gave a specific order when he was at war, and he did not follow it. That's why following the orders are very important. Okay? Because if he would have followed that order, it would all come out of his loins. It would have been his family ruling. Okay? Ruling all the way through, all the way down. But he didn't follow the order, so the Lord, he had turned away from him. He said he would not be with him anymore. Okay? See, and I have rejected him from reigning over Israel. Go ahead.
Fill thy horn with oil and go. I will send thee to Jesse the Bethlehemite, for I have provided me a king among his sons.
All right, so Jesse, he has these sons. Okay? Believe me. He has these sons. All right, and the Lord is saying, telling Samuel, through this man, I want you to go. I want you to look upon his sons, and I'm going to show you which one that I have chosen. The one that I have chosen to be the ruler over Israel. The one I have chosen that this seed will be famous in Israel. The one that's going to produce Christ. Okay? Continue reading.
Give me 1 second. Troopers just logged on.
All right.
Hey, Slocky Troopers. Can y'all pick up where we at? First Samuel.
Con.
You got it? 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 2.
Yeah, I'm about to do this more report. Or if you need me to read, because they take forever.
And when you got it, you can go ahead and read.
Come on, brothers.
This is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 16, verse 2. And Samuel said, how can I go? If Saul hear it, he will kill me. And the Lord said,
Hold on. Stay right there. You see, Samuel, he understands that Saul is the king. All right? And if Saul is going to hear that you are going to look for his replacement, he is ready to unalive him. He will be ready to unalive him. You know what I mean? So Samuel is concerned. All right? But the Lord, he is going to let him know the steps that he needs to take. And that's why it's important to follow the order. See, Saul didn't follow the order. And that's why there will be a new king to reign over Israel. And if Samuel didn't follow the order, what do you think would happen to him? Okay? That's why it's very important. Go ahead.
Con. And the Lord said, take an heifer with thee.
A heifer.
A heifer with thee, and say, I am come to sacrifice to the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 3. And call Jesse to the sacrifice, and I will shew thee what thou shalt do. And thou shalt anoint unto me him whom I name unto thee.
You see? So that's why he wants him to go lay his eyes on these sons. All right? And the Lord is going to choose. And the one that the Lord chooses, that's who you are going to anoint. Okay? Continue reading. Or actually jump to 5.
Con. Verse 5. And he said, peaceably, I am come to sacrifice unto the Lord. Sanctify yourselves and come with me to the sacrifice. And he sanctified Jesse and his sons and called them to the sacrifice.
Continue reading.
Con. Verse 6. And it came to pass when they were come that he looked on Eliab.
Yep.
And said, surely the Lord's anointed is before him.
All right, you see, hey, he saw this young brother. Ooh, when he saw him, he said, no, he gotta be it. Okay? You know them brothers that you see, they big in stature, they strong, they tall. You're like, oh, it must be him. Who else could it be? He looks like a warrior, he looks like a king. Maybe he is the king. But see, the Lord, he sees things a little different. Go ahead.
Con. Verse 7. But the Lord said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. For the Lord seeth not as man seeth. For man looketh on the outward appearance, but Lord looketh in on the heart.
You see, the Lord refused him, okay? Because what everybody is seeing on the outside, all right, they're seeing a big, strong looking brother, okay? But the Lord knew Jesse, it's like the Lord knew David was a warrior, okay? He knew David was a man of war. So since he's a man of war, all right, since he wasn't afraid of anything, okay, that's who the Lord wanted, okay? So he said, nah, that first brother, he ain't it. Continue.
Come. Verse 8. Then Jesse called Slakia at Abinadab and made him pass before Samuel. And he said, neither had the Lord chosen this.
Continue.
Come. Verse 9. Then Jesse made Shammah to pass by, and he said, neither had the Lord chosen this. Verse 10. Again, Jesse made 7 of his sons to pass before Samuel, and Samuel said unto Jesse, the Lord hath not chosen these.
You see? So he passed all them through there. Passed them 7 sons. The ones that he thought would be for the Lord. The ones that he thought should be there anointed before Samuel. He said, it can't be my young boy over there tending to the sheep. It must be one of these sons. But he passed all 7 of them through there. And what happened? The Lord said, it ain't none of these. Continue reading.
Come. And Samuel said unto Jesse, are here all thy children? And he said, there remaineth yet the youngest, and behold, he keepeth the sheep. And Samuel said unto Jesse, send and fetch him, for we will not sit down till he come hither.
You see, we're not going to sit down. We're not going to do a damn thing. All right? We're not going to do a damn thing until you bring this brother through. Okay? Go get that young boy. Go get that young boy who sits over there herding the sheep. That's what we need to see. The Lord said it's going to be one of your sons. Okay? And if it's going to be one of your sons, and I already passed 7 of them, you're going to have to go get the 8th. Go ahead.
Come. Verse 12. And he sent and brought him in. Now he was ruddy, and withal of a beautiful countenance.
All right, now stop. Hold on. Stop right there real quick. Because we got to get something straight. Ready doesn't mean pale skin. That's what they want to say. All right? That's not what it means. It says, now he was ready, and with all a beautiful countenance, and is good and goodly to look upon. Meaning David was a good looking brother. Okay? That's what that means. Continue reading.
Come. It's like and goodly to look to. And the Lord said, arise, anoint him, for this is he.
You see? The Lord said, anoint him. This is who I choose. Okay? This is the future of Israel. Continue reading.
Come. Verse 13. Then Samuel took the horn of oil and anointed him in the midst of his brethren. And the Spirit of the Lord came upon David from that day forward. So Samuel rose up and went to Ramah.
You see? The Lord was with David. The Lord was with David that day. That spirit fell on, that spirit of the Lord came upon him. And he said from that day forward, okay, he had that spirit of the Most High. Continue reading.
Con. Verse 14. The spirit of the Lord departed from Saul.
The what?
The spirit of the Lord departed from Saul.
You see, that spirit of the Lord, he departed from Saul. And he was sitting on David. And Saul felt that. That spirit of the Lord was off of him. Now the demons can really touch him. Now he can feel all of them. Continue reading.
Con. And an evil spirit from the Lord troubled him.
Drop down to
16. Con. Verse 16. Let our Lord now command thy servants, which are before thee, to seek out a man who is a cunning player on an harp. And it shall come to pass, when the evil spirit from God is upon thee, that he shall play with his hand, and thou shalt be well.
You see, so he plays his part. When Saul, who was the king, is going through stuff, having headaches, going crazy from these spirits in him. When David played that harp, the Lord gave him that gift. So when he plays that harp, them spirits would leave Saul alone. Now, what would that do? What if you having these horrible times, and somebody come through and they doing something, they playing a melody on this harp, and the spirit leaves? What's going to happen is you're going to start having some favor. You can make people's pain go away, but you can have some favor with them. All right, continue reading.
Con. It's like verse 17.
All right, drop that.
Con. Then answered one of the servants and said, Behold, I have seen a son of Jesse, the Bethlehemite, that is cunning in playing, and a mighty valiant man, and a man of war, and prudent in matters, and comely, and a comely person, and the Lord is with him.
All right, let's get it. We're gonna get that one more time. We're gonna break that down because that's heavy. All right, let's get it one more time.
Verse 18. Then answered one of the servants and said, Behold, I have seen a son of Jesse, the Bethlehemite.
All right, I have seen a son of Jesse the Bethlehemite. This is David. All right, continue.
That is cunning and plain.
That is cunning and plain. You know, when you're young, your mom always got to tell you, y'all sit down. Y'all quit fighting. Y'all quit wrestling around. All right? He was cunning. Okay? He was cunning. Where we at? Yeah, he was cunning. Okay? Continue.
And a mighty valiant man.
A mighty valiant man. This young man, he was honorable. Go ahead.
Con. And a man of war.
A man of war. How else can this young boy go stand against Goliath? All right? He was a man of war. He was absolutely a warrior. And you should think about that too. When you fight in your lust, when you fight in your flesh, you don't have to be a man of war about it. You don't have to take on that spirit of the Lord, be a man of war, and stand up. All right? Continue.
Con. And prudent in matters.
Prudent in matters. All right? Yeah, prudent in matters, okay? Marked by wisdom. You know what I mean? Wow. He was honorable, okay? He was judicious. All right, continue.
And a comely person.
And a comely person. meaning beautiful. That's what comely means. Comely means beautiful. Go ahead.
And the Lord is with him.
The Lord is with him. That's why he was able to do the things that he did. That's the reason we able to, any of us is able to do any damn thing. Is if the Lord is with you. Drop down to 21.
Con. And David came to call to like it. And David came to Saul and stood before him, and he loved him greatly, and he became his armor bearer.
See, David used to carry around his armor. He was the armor bearer of Saul. He was right there by his side, holding his armor. Okay? Continue.
Verse 22. And Saul sent to Jesse, saying, Let David, I pray thee, stand before me, for he hath found favor in my sight. Verse 23. It came to pass when the evil spirit from God was upon Saul, that David took in heart and played with his hand. So Saul was refreshed and was well. The evil spirit departed from him.
You see, that's how he found favor with him. He was knocking that damn demon out of him. Okay? So he come play that heart, knock that demon out of him. Yeah, you're gonna find some favor. All right, now let me get Trooper to come read 1 Samuel 17 and 1.
First Samuel chapter 17, verse 1. And the Lord said unto Samuel, How long wilt thou mourn for Saul?
Where you at? It's 1 Samuel 17.
First Samuel chapter 17, verse 1. Now the Philistines gathered together their armies to battle, and were gathered together at Shecouch, which belongeth to Judah, and pitched between Shecouch and Azekah, and Ephes-dammim. Verse 2. And Saul and the men of Israel were gathered together and pitched by the valley of Elah, and set the battle in array against the Philistines.
All right, so they all gathered together. The Philistines is gathered. All right, and they are ready for war. Okay, and they got a warrior on their side. All right, they got somebody who from their youth was doing this. From their youth was fighting. From their youth was out there unaliving, winning wars, winning many battles. Okay, continue reading.
Verse 3. And the Philistines stood on a mountain on the one side, and Israel stood on a mountain on the other side, and there was a valley between them.
All right, so you see when people are posted up in their position and they're laying out if there's going to be a war, you have the people on this side, we on the mountain on this side, they on the mountain on this side, and between is a valley. Usually that valley is where y'all going to come, and y'all are going to have that battle. Okay? So this is what's going on. Continue reading.
Verse 4. And there went out a champion out of the camp of the Philistines, named Goliath of Gath, whose height was 6 cubits and a span. Verse 5.
Hold on. So, like, hold where you at real quick. Hey, Samaki.
Yep.
Let's move the computer up here. Bear with us 1 second.
All right.
Because, yeah, they're saying this. But it's hard to hear from right there.
Oh shit. Let me take this charger.
No, it's the wild. Yeah, we're just gonna wrap it around it here.
For water. It's on the table. Yeah. All right. All right, now that should be settled. Get this all right here. All right, I think we Tawab. All right, Most High in Christ. I got confirmation. All right, pick up where you just was, 17-4.
Verse 4. And there went out a champion out of the camp of the Philistines, named Goliath of Gath, whose height was 6 cubits in a span.
Okay,
Verse,
so this is a big old Philistine, a big ugly Hamite. All right, big boy. Continue reading.
verse 5. And he had a helmet of brass upon his head, and he was armed with a coat of mail, and the height and the weight of the coat was 5,000 shekels of brass.
Okay, said that he had a helmet of brass on his head, and he was armed with a coat of mail. All right, they said, and the weight of the coat was 5,000 shekels of brass. So this is a big, strong Philistine. All right, this ain't no little guy. To be holding brass like that, that's not light. That's not nothing easy. That's not nothing simple. Okay, continue.
Verse 6. And he had greaves of brass upon his legs, and a target of brass between his shoulders.
So his armor is brass. Okay, he's carrying this comfortable, just like you get on a football field and you put on your pads and you go run a 4.3 40. Okay, he out there doing the same thing. He got all this brass on, all this equipment on, ready for war, all this protection, and it is brass. This is heavy material. You know, this isn't anything light. Continue reading.
Verse 7. And the staff of his spear was like a weaver's beam, and his spear head weighed 600 shekels of iron, and one bearing a shield went before him.
You see, so not only does he have all the brass on, then he has his shield and he has his iron spear. Okay, this is what he's bringing to the fight. All of this. Continue reading.
Verse 8. And he stood and cried unto the armies of Israel, and said unto them, Why are ye come out to set your battle in array? Am I not Salaki? Am not I a Philistine, and ye servants to Saul? Choose you a man for you, and let him come down to me.
So he stood there and he's crying to the army of Israel. He's out there, he's mocking us. He is making a mockery. And we are over there terrified because people know when you go out there with this man, you don't come back. Okay? They said, aren't you servants of Saul? Am I not a Philistine? Am I not a Philistine? Choose for you a man, and you let him come down to me. We'll meet right here in the valley. We'll come off these mountains. We'll meet in the valley, and we will have a battle. We will have a war, and we will see who is strong and who is not. Continue reading.
Verse 9. If he be able to fight with me and to kill me, then will we be your servants. But if I prevail against him and kill him, then shall be ye be our servants and serve us.
If you win, we will serve you. No, if you win, we will serve you. But if we win, you will serve us. This is what is being said. This is the conversation that is being had from these two mountains thrown over this valley. Okay, he is trying to convince somebody to come down here so he can have a fight, because that's what he's been doing from forever, from as long as he could remember. He's been fighting. He's been winning battles. This is a great warrior. This isn't just somebody you overlook. Okay, just like there's people you see, you like, nah, I wouldn't want to get into it with him. He's one of those people, to where his experience, his knowledge of this, it is vast, it is exhausting. All right, he is a professional at this. All right, he's a professional unaliver. All right, continue reading.
Verse 10. And the Philistines said, I defy the armies of Israel this day. Give me a man that we may fight together.
You see, he's just continuing on. He's pressing because he's out there boasting, because he thinks this is just like any other day. He thinks this is any other time, just like before. But it is not. This is nothing like before. Continue reading.
Verse 11. When Saul and all Israel heard those words of the Philistines.
When what?
When Saul and all Israel heard those words of the Philistine, they were dismayed and greatly afraid.
Were what?
And were dismayed and greatly afraid.
See, we were greatly afraid. We were greatly afraid. Everybody. One man had our whole nation shook and afraid. Go ahead, Tamakia. Hold on. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Yagana.
Found out on account 5,000 shekels of brass is about 125 pounds. So he was unbelievably strong.
You see, he goes to war with 125 pounds of just like it's nothing. Out there moving and winning. I mean, winning, destroying with 125 pounds on, carrying it like it's his like it's a t-shirt and some shorts.
Boost strength.
That's why we were greatly afraid, because none of us was doing that. Good night. It says, when Saul and all of Israel heard those words of the Philistine, they were dismayed and greatly afraid. We didn't know what the hell we was going to do. We didn't know what was going to happen. We were shook. All right. Continue reading.
Verse 12. Now David was the son of that Ephraimite of Bethlehem, Judah, whose name was Jesse, and he had 8 sons. And the man went among men for an old man in the days of Saul.
Continue reading.
Verse 13. And the 3 eldest sons of Jesse went and followed Saul to the battle. And the names of his 3 sons that went to the battle were Eliab, the firstborn, and next unto him Abinadab, and the third Shammah.
Continue reading.
Verse 14. And David was the youngest, and the 3 eldest followed Saul. But David went and returned from Saul to feed his father's sheep at Bethlehem. Verse 16. And the Philistines drew near morning and evening and presented himself 40 days.
So he's out there 40 days presenting himself, saying, is there no one who's going to come in battle? Is there no one who's going to come and stand up? I heard y'all have a God. Is your God going to give any one of you courage so you can come out here so I can take your life? That's what's on his mind. Those were his thoughts. His thoughts were, hurry up and get him in so I can get him out. Okay? He did this for 40 days. Continue.
Verse 17. And Jesse said unto David, his son, take now for thy brethren an ephah of this parched corn, and these 10 loaves, and run to the camp to thy brethren.
All right, so it said, and Jesse said unto David, his son, he said, take now for thy brethren the ephah of this parched corn and these 10 loaves. He was bringing food to the camp. He was bringing food to them, okay? While they are sitting here on these mountains, waiting to what's going to see what they battle. So he's taking this to his brothers, to his 3 eldest brothers that follow Saul. He's taking this food to them, okay? Continue reading.
Verse 18. And carried these 10 cheeses unto the captain of their 1,000.
To what?
Of their 1,000.
The captain of their thousands. You see, Christians, this is what you call rank and order. The captain of their thousands. Because we are an army, okay? We are soldiers. Continue.
And look how thy brethren fare, and take their pledge.
See? And see how your brothers are. See what's going on. See how they look. See what's happening. Drop the 22.
Verse 22. And David left his carriage in the hand of the keeper of the carriage, and ran into the army, and came and saluted his brethren.
Continue.
Verse 23. And as he talked with them, behold, there came up the champion.
There what?
There came up the champion.
It said, and as he talked with his brothers, there came up the champion. There's this man that's been over there hollering for 40 days, who's been pumping fear through all of Israel and Saul the king for 40 days. Continue.
The Philistine of Gath, Goliath by name, out of the armies of the Philistines, and spake according to the same words. And David heard them.
You see, this time though, when he was speaking those words, that young boy, David, he heard these things. He heard this. They said no, Mike, but you could keep it if you need, so we can hear you. But yeah, he said, nah, I'm hearing what this man is saying. David is hearing this thing that this man has been saying, all right, because it spake according to the same words that he has been speaking these past 40 days. But this time, David heard that. Continue.
Verse 24. And all the men of Israel, when they saw the man, fled from him, and were sore afraid.
You see, they was afraid, fleeing, running, trying to get the hell up out of there. It said, and all the men of Israel, when they saw that man, they fled from him. They were sore and they were afraid. Okay? Continue reading.
Verse 25. And the men of Israel said, have ye seen this man that is come up? Surely to defy Israel is he come up. And it shall be that the man who killeth him, the king, will enrich him with great riches, and will give him his daughter, and make his father's house free in Israel.
You see, it says, the man who will defeat this man, I will give it all to you. And Saul is saying that because that's what will save his kingdom. Because his kingdom ends if Goliath comes and wins, okay? If Goliath strikes and he wins, that is the end of Saul's kingdom. So that's why he is offering all these things, okay?
He is offering you great riches. We'll give him his daughter. We'll make his father's house free in Israel. Okay. He will make everything great for you because you are saving his kingship. Continue.
Verse 26. And David spake to the men that stood by him, saying, What shall be done to the man that killeth this Philistine, and taketh away the reproach from Israel? For who is this uncircumcised Philistine, that he should defy the armies of the living God?
You see, it said, "Who is this uncircumcised Philistine? Who is this? Who is this guy that he should defy the armies of the living God?" You see, one thing David did know: David knew the Most High was with him. David did know that no matter how big, how strong, how many bodies, how many wars, how many battles that Goliath has won, he cannot win any battle against the Most High. That's what we got to understand when we out there and we are facing a Goliath. When you are staring down a barrel of something that you don't know how it would turn out, how it's going to end, how any of those things. You need to understand that there ain't nothing too great for the Most High. Okay, there ain't no battle that the Most High can't win. There ain't no man that the Most High can't defeat. So you don't have to be scared. You think because it's a judge, you think that judge staring down you think he has power over the Most High? He doesn't. Think those police out there, you think those politicians, you think they got more power than the Most High? They absolutely don't. So when you staring down that Goliath, just remember, who is this uncircumcised Philistine that should defy the armies of the living God? Continue reading.
Verse 27. And the people answered him after this manner, saying, So shall it be done to the man that killeth him.
Continue.
Verse 28. And Eliab, his eldest brother, heard when he spake unto the men, and Eliab's anger was kindled against David.
All right, see, stop there. You see, Eliab, he's getting mad because he's looking like, what the hell is you gonna do? Don't be riling up and talking all this nonsense. You're not gonna do nothing. You can't do nothing. You're gonna get this man madder. You know, he's gonna get mad. He's gonna come in. He's gonna destroy us all because of your mouth. Shut your mouth. How many people you know that in the face of adversity they want you to shut your mouth? They don't want to hear you speak what the Lord's telling you to say. What the Lord's moving throughout. Okay, continue reading.
And he said, Why camest thou down hither? And with whom hast thou left those few sheep in the wilderness?
He said, Why did you even come here? What are you doing here? And who's with your sheep? Ain't you supposed to be tending to the sheep? You over here talking about Goliath like he's some joke, and you supposed to be with your sheep. Continue reading.
I know thy pride and the naughtiness of thine heart, for thou art come down that thou mightest see the battle.
You see, they know though. You know him being cunning and playing, a valiant man. You know, a man of war. Oh, they know he wants to see the battle. That's why he probably couldn't wait to go take that bread in those loaves over there. Because, he's going to want to see. Okay? Drop down to 32.
Verse 32. And David said to Saul, Let no man's heart fail because of him. Thy servant will go and fight with this Philistine.
He said, Don't let no man's heart fail. Don't worry about it. No sweat. I'm going to go down. I'm your servant. I'm a servant of King Saul, and I will go and fight this Philistine. Go ahead.
Verse 33. And Saul said to David, thou art not able to go against this Philistine to fight with him, for thou art but a youth, and he a man of war from his youth.
You see, it said, and Saul said to David, thou art not able to go against this Philistine. I appreciate your spirit. I appreciate your courage, but you cannot go against this man. For thou art a youth, and he is a man of war from his youth. Well, just like this Philistine was a man of war from his youth, well, we are going to find out so was David from his youth. He is a youth right here, and he has courage, and he is willing to stand up for the Most High and not let this uncircumcised Philistine come over here and talk that talk and come and destroy his nation. Okay, but Saul is trying to get it to David like, this ain't for you, because you are a youth, and he was a man of war from his youth. Continue reading.
Verse 34. And Salaki, and David said unto Saul, thy servant kept his father's sheep, and there came a lion and a bear, and took a lamb out of the flock.
So David's going to tell him about his courage. He's going to tell him about his willingness to stand and protect what he is responsible for. That's what we all need to do. We need to stand and protect the things that we are responsible for. Right. David said a lion and a bear came and they took a lamb out the flock. Continue reading.
Verse 35. And I went out after him and spoke him and delivered it out of his mouth. And when he arose against me, I caught him by his beard and smote him and slew him.
You see, he said, and I went after him and I smote him. He delivered that lamb out of his mouth. He said, but when he arose against me, I caught him by his beard. Imagine you catching a lion by the beard and slaying him. Said he smote and he slew him. Ooh wee. Continue reading.
Verse 36. Thy servant slew both the lion and the bear, and this uncircumcised Philistine shall be as one of them, seeing he hath defied the armies of the living God.
You see, since he defied the armies of the living God, all right, he's going to be exactly like that lion and that bear. This uncircumcised Philistine, he is going to be as one of them. He's going to be just like that lion and like that bear, non-existing. Because you got to have courage. It's going to take courage. All right? The courage to stand up against adversity, the courage to stand up to something that seems bigger and greater than you are. All right? And you just let the Lord come and you let the Lord take care of that. You let the Lord raise you up to defeat your enemies, to be stronger, to be more powerful than your enemies, than your Goliath, than your lion, than your bear. Oh my. All right, continue reading.
Verse 37. David said, moreover, the Lord that delivered me out of the paw of the lion and out the paw of the bear, he will deliver me out of the hand of this Philistine. And Saul said unto David, go, and the Lord be with thee.
Continue reading.
Verse 38. And Saul armed David with his armor, and he put a helmet of brass upon his head. Also he armed him with a coat of mail.
All right. So Saul's over here and he's giving David his armor. Okay. Because David's gonna go in there and go to war. It said, and he put a helmet of brass upon his head, and he also armed him with a coat of nail. All right, and historically, a coat of mail, Salakia, a coat of mail is like a jacket covered or composed with metal rings or plates, serving as armor. So, when you see those people and they have, it's like those plates of armor going down and everywhere, that's what that is. That's what a coat of mail is. All right. So Saul's giving him this. He's giving him this this armor to go out there to go fight. Continue reading.
Verse 39. And David girded his sword upon his armor, and he essayed to go, for he had not proved it. And David said unto Saul, I cannot go with these, for I have not proved them. And David put them off him.
You see, so David, as he was girded with this sword and with this armor and all this stuff from Saul, he was saying, I have not proved this. I can't go out there with this. I'm not used to having this on. I don't know how to move with this. This isn't what I fight with. This isn't the things that I use. So David took these things off of him. Continue.
Verse 40. And he took his staff in his hand, and he chose him 5 smooth stones out of the brook, and put them in a shepherd's bag, which he had, even in a scrip, and his sling was in his hand, and he drew near to the Philistine.
All right, so he took his staff. He been herding these sheep, so he's used to having that staff, right? All right. Then also he took those 5 smooth stones out the brook. Brook is like a brook of water, like a creek of water that runs through. All right. So he took those stones and he put them in his sling, in his scrip to hold them. And then he had his sling in his hand, and he drew near to that Philistine. He said, these are my weapons of choice. These are my weapons of warfare. Okay. Continue reading.
Verse 41. And the Philistine came on and drew near unto David. And he the man that bare the shield went before him.
Continue reading.
Verse 42. And when the Philistines looked about and saw David, he disdained him, for he was but a youth and ruddy, and of a fair countenance.
So when Goliath seen David, it pissed him off. Okay, it made him furious because he's like, I know this is not who the hell y'all sent out for me. You sent this little man over here, this young boy over here for me. You said, but he was but a youth and ready. All right. Ready doesn't mean pale or red skin. You think he liked him because he was too red skinned? No, it's because he was too beautiful. He was ruddy, beautiful, and of fair countenance. Okay, he's like, I know you didn't send this young pretty boy over here. You sent this little pretty boy over here to fight, just like you when you out there and you was in the world, and that pretty boy try to come run up on you. Oh, you get even more mad. You're like, oh, I know it ain't. Oh, no. I know y'all didn't send him. I know he don't think he's doing nothing. Not understanding. No matter what you look like, a man of war is a man of war. You better understand. Continue reading.
Verse 43. And the Philistines said unto David, Am I a dog?
Am I a what?
Am I a dog?
Continue.
That thou comest to see to me with staves. And the Philistines cursed David by his gods.
You see, he's like, he's just looking like, what is y'all doing? What the hell is Israel doing? Y'all have nobody else that y'all can send. that you're going to send this young boy? Am I a dog? Okay. And you see, when the Philistine cursed David by his gods, by his Philistine, by his Philistine gods. Okay, continue reading.
Verse 44. And the Philistine said to David, "Come to me, and I will give thy flesh unto the fowls of the air, and to the beasts of the field."
You see, because he's already disdained, he's already angry, he's already been wanting to fight for 40 days. This is what you brought to him? He said, yeah, come on, young boy. Come on, David. You come over here, you come to me, and I'll give your flesh to the fowls of the air and the beasts of the field. Okay? I will let them have you, the water. I will let them have you. They will eat off of your flesh, and all of Israel will become the servants of the Philistines. Continue reading.
Verse 45. Then said David to the Philistines, "Thou comest to me with a sword, and with a spear, and with a shield, but I come to thee in the name of the Lord of hosts, so like the God of the armies of Israel, whom thou hast defied."
You see, David said, you have all these things. You have your armor, right? You have your weapons. You have a sword, you have a spear, you have your helmet, you have your shield. You come bearing all these things. But me, I come in the name of the Lord of hosts, the God of the armies of Israel, whom thou hast defied, whom you have defied, whom you have mocked and made a joke of. David's going to show him that the Lord is nothing to play with. Continue reading.
Verse 46. This day will the Lord deliver thee into my hand, and I will smite thee, and take thine head from thee, and I will give the carcasses of the hosts of the Philistines this day unto the fowls of the air, and to the wild beasts of the earth, that all the earth may know that there is a God in Israel.
You see, David's letting him know that no. He said, I will take thy head from thee. I will smite thee, and I will take thy head from thee. And I will give your carcass of the host of the Philistines to the fowls of the air and to the wild beasts of the earth. And the earth may know that there is a God in Israel. That's what we have to do. We have to go and we have to slay a Goliath so they know that there is a God in Israel. What do you think Captain Tazariak did with the conscious community? Oh, he slayed them. Them people who thought they was big. Oh, they thought they was some big Hamites in that community. They all thought they was Goliath, the Philistine. They thought they all of them. Oh, and Captain Tazariak and Captain Katazar, you know what they said? They said, well, you're going to know that there is a God in Israel. Or the battles commanding General Yohana, how many Goliaths he had to slay? Oh, you know there's a God in Israel. Just look at Commanding General Yohana. Look how everybody turned their back, and he held it together. And he pushed forward and persevered and slayed a Goliath and got the oppressor to stand on a corner, kneel down, and kiss your boots. Well, that is slaying the Goliath. That lets everybody know that there's a God in Israel. Ain't that right to mock you? They get on their knees right down there at camp. Hey, them brothers and sisters walking by, oh, they know there's a God in Israel. They say, I can't believe I can't believe y'all got them to. We don't get nobody to do nothing. The Most High, he fights all these battles. So you will know that there's a God in Israel. It ain't Shamarwan doing it. It ain't the Makia. It ain't Yaganai. It ain't Yaquab. It ain't Kakam. It's the Most High. Okay? Continue reading.
Verse 47. And all this assembly shall know that the Lord saveth not with sword and spear, for the battle is the Lord's, and he will give you into our hands.
You see, that's what we have to understand. That's what this whole assembly, our whole people, our whole nation needs to understand. That the Lord save it. You don't gotta have a sword and a spear. A lot of people think the answer is just buying a whole bunch of weapons and going to war with your oppressor. Do you know he can drive a remote control bomb to your house? You know he could fly planes across the earth with nobody in him sitting at his computer. Stealth mode. You know he could press a button and send something to just take out everything. You can't fight him with your 9 millimeter or with your AR-15 or with your Uzi. But you know what? The Most High can come, for the battle is the Lord's. All right, and He will give our enemies into our hands, just like He did for David, because David had that faith and that righteousness. Oh, and the Lord showed up and showed out, because this right here is what you call impossible. Like nobody on either side would pick David. Nobody. The Lord could come down and say, I'm with David to all of us. He can come and appear in front of all of us. And they still would believe that this is an unwinnable battle, because that's Goliath. And his reputation definitely was a reputation of one who wasn't to play with, who wasn't for play. He can make quick, light work out of you. Continue.
Verse 48. And it came to pass when the Philistine arose and came and drew nigh to meet David, that David hasted and ran toward the army to meet the Philistine.
David's what you call bout it. Okay? He said when the Philistine rose, he came and drew nigh to meet David. Yeah, he ran toward the army. Yeah. You know, you doing the slow walk, thinking you scaring. All right? I'm going to get to it. I'm coming to you. Hey, I'm right here with you. I'm in your chest. All right? Continue reading.
Verse 49. And David put his hand in his bag and took thence a stone and slang it and smote the Philistine in his forehead.
All right, hold on right there. How many stones?
Thence.
You see? He took one stone. He had 5. He brought 5, but he's,
Yeah.
that's just to make the bag sit even. That's just to reach down and grab it one easier. All right? He only needed 1. And when he slung that, he running. Take that out. Slung that, and it hit Goliath dead in his forehead. Okay? You see? Continue.
That the stone sunk in his forehead, and he fell upon his face to the earth.
You see? And at that moment, I know everybody's eyes were wide and their mouth was dropped wide open, because you seen something that you never expected to happen. Okay? You never expected. Just like we all seen somebody who was very small beat somebody really big, and you like, I don't know how he did. I can't believe he won. You know? Continue reading.
Verse 50. So David prevailed over the Philistine with a sling and with a stone, and smote the Philistine and slew him. But there was no sword in the hand of David.
You see, he slew him, but there was no sword in the hand of David, because he hit him with that sling and that stone. Continue.
Verse 51. Therefore David ran and stood upon the Philistine, and took his sword and drew it out of the sheath thereof, and slew him, and cut off his head therewith. And when the Philistines saw their champion was dead, they fled.
You see, the Lord helped David prevail right here. All right, because he didn't have that sword, so he went and grabbed that sword. He took he took he took that sword and cut his head off. Okay, took it off. All right, and and when the Philistines saw that, they hightailed it out of there. Because just imagine the baddest one. Just imagine the greatest one in with you, the greatest one standing on your side. He go down, that puts fear in you. Now the tables are turned. Now the Philistines are in fear, like the Israelites were just in fear. Continue reading.
Verse 52. And the men of Israel and of Judah arose and shouted and pursued the Philistines until thou come to the valley and to the gates of Ekron. And the wounded of the Philistines fell down by the way to Sharon, even unto Gath and unto Ekron.
Continue reading.
Verse 53. And the children of Israel returned from chasing after the Philistines, and they spoiled their tents.
You see, hey, we wasn't just letting them go. Okay. We went to hunt them down. All right. Continue reading.
Verse 54. And David took the head of the Philistine and brought it to Jerusalem, but he put his armor in his tent.
You see that? He's gonna keep. He brought the head like a trophy. He brought it with him. Continue.
Verse 55. And when Saul saw David go forth against the Philistine, he said unto Abner, the captain of the host, Abner, whose son is this youth? And Abner said, as thy soul liveth, O king, I cannot tell.
So then, not only David, this young boy, go out there and he slays this giant. Okay, he slays this big warrior. Saul asking his captain, like, "Hey, who is this youngin?" He said, "Hey, is that soul living?" Hey, Salakia, sir. I don't know. I cannot tell. Continue.
Verse 56. And the king said, inquire thou whose son the stripling is.
Continue.
Verse 57. And as David returned from the slaughter of the Philistine, Abner took him and brought him before Saul with the head of the Philistine in his hand.
You see, David returned from that slaughter of that Philistine of Goliath. Hey, and Abner took him and brought him before Saul with the head in his hand. Imagine that. Imagine your king and all of Israel scared of this man. And you come back with his head in your hand. Good night. David is a warrior. Continue reading.
Verse 58. And Saul said to him, whose son art thou, thou young man? And David answered, I am the son of thy servant Jesse, the Bethlehemite.
See, that's the son of Jesse, the Bethlehemite. Okay. All right, hold on. Let me go over here real quick. I gotta remember where I was. Give me Exodus 15:3.
The book of
actually start at verse 1.
The book of Exodus, chapter 15, verse 1. Then sang Moses of the children of Israel this song unto the Lord, and spake, saying, I will sing unto the Lord, for he hath triumphed gloriously. The horse and his rider hath he thrown into the sea.
You see,
this is what Christians need to understand. This is the songs that we sung to the Lord. We sung about the horse and his rider being thrown into the sea. Okay, they want to sing a dance like David danced. David was a warrior. Okay, they want to sing never would have made it. They want to sing all these damn songs, right? But this is what the children of Israel and Moses, this is the songs we sang. For the Lord has triumphed gloriously. The horse and his rider he is thrown in the sea. Continue reading.
Verse 2. The Lord is my strength and song.
The
And
Lord is what?
the Lord is my strength and song.
The Lord is my strength and song. That's where David got his strength from. He got that strength to slay that giant from the Most High. Continue reading.
And he is become my salvation. He is my God, and I will prepare him an habitation. My father's God, and I will exalt him.
Continue reading.
Verse 3. The Lord is a man of war.
What?
The Lord is a man of war.
A man of peace.
The Lord is a man of war.
Hugs and kisses.
The Lord is a man of war.
Love everybody, love everybody.
The Lord is a man of war.
Lord is a man of war. Understand that. And the Lord is a man of war. And here in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, we are men of war. Continue reading.
The Lord is his name.
Continue.
Verse 4. Pharaoh's chariots and his host hath he cast into the sea. His chosen captains also are drowned in the Red Sea.
You see, that's what we sing about. That's what we got to understand. When we come to sing, we singing about how our enemies have been destroyed. Okay, that's what we want to sing about. All right, give me Exodus 12 and 41.
The book of Exodus, chapter 12, verse 41. And it came to pass at the end of the 430 years, even the self same day, it came to pass that all the hosts of the Lord went out from the land of Egypt.
You see, it said, and it came to pass at the end of the 430 years in the same self day, it came to pass that all the host of the Lord came out of the land of Egypt. Okay, the host is your army. All right, the host is an army. Let's get that. Drop down to verse 51.
Verse 51. And it came to pass the self same day that the Lord did bring the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt by their armies.
By their what?
By their armies.
See, that's what he brought. He brought us out by our armies. Okay, he brought us out by our armies, and that's why this is important. This is important because this is your lineage, this is your heritage, this is your inheritance. Okay, let me see. Bear with me 1 second. Do I want that? Nah, we'll go back. Let me go back. All right, let's get let me see. Bear with me 1 second. No, no. Yeah, we'll just go there. Let's go back to 1 Samuel chapter 18, and we'll pick it up at 5. Oh, I cannot work this thing.
First
Oh, man.
Sam, First
Yeah,
Samuel,
1 Samuel 18 and 5.
First Samuel, chapter 18, verse 5. And David went out whithersoever Saul went him, and behaved himself wisely. And Saul set him over the men of war, and he was accepted in the sight of all the people, and also in the sight of Saul's servants.
Hey, Trooper Yaquab, you pick it back up. It said, and David went out wheresoever Saul sent him, wherever he went. And he said, and he behaved himself wisely. You see, when we get sent out on orders, when we get sent somewhere, you got to behave yourself wisely. And when Captain Yatazak tell me to go somewhere and do something, I know
Wait, are you 18?
behave myself wisely. That is very important, you know, because what is your reputation? All right. It said, and Saul set him over the men of war. Okay. And he was accepted in the sight of all people and also in the sight of Saul's servants. All right. Continue reading verse 6.
Verse 6. And it came to pass as they came, when David was returned from the slaughter of the Philistine, or it's like a Philistine, that the woman come out of all cities of Israel, singing and dancing to meet King Saul with tabrets, with joy, and with instruments of music.
You see, when he came back, you know, hey, the women came out of all the cities of Israel singing and dancing to meet King Saul. They was happy, you know, they was celebrating. Continue reading.
Come on, verse 7. And the woman answered one another as they played and said, Saul hath slain his thousands, and David his 10,000s.
You see, you know, that's that, you know, that's gonna make Saul hot, because they over there saying, you know, well, Saul has killed thousands, Saul has slain thousands, and David tens of thousands. Okay, and David has 10,000, meaning he is a way better warrior than our king. Okay, continue reading.
Like it, sir. Wait, are they bragging to the people, like telling them like Saul only killed 1,000, but David killed 10,000? Like he's bragging.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. They're doing that. They're like singing. They're like boasting David up. They bragging on him like, yeah, you know, Saul slain thousands and David 10,000s. You see, just you know, real big up in them. Just like somebody saying, oh yeah, you average 15 points a game, but him over there, he averaged 35. You know, it's just it's showing you the level. And as they're showing them the level, you know, Saul gets angry about this because this is his kingdom. He's the king. He's been out there fighting all these battles. You got to remember, he's older as well. And David's still slain more. Okay? Continue reading.
Come. And so, like verse 8, and Saul was very wroth, and the saying displeased him.
You see, Saul was very wroth, and that saying displeased him. Oh, that it made him furious. It made him very angry, because you're saying that David is such a much better warrior than him. You know, 1,000, 10,000, that's a big difference. Okay, continue reading.
Come. And he said, they have ascribed unto David 10,000s, and to me they have ascribed but thousands. And
But
what can
he said, but thousands. To David, they ascribed unto David 10,000s. It said, and to me ascribe but thousands. Continue.
Con. And what can he have more but the kingdom?
You see, it's like, what else? What else could he take from me? What else? What else more could he grab? But my kingdom, but my kingship, but my throne. But if Saul was so worried about the throne, he should have just listened to the Lord, and the Lord's spirit would have never left him. Continue reading.
Con. Verse 9. And Saul eyed David from that day and forward.
You see, he gave him the side eye from that day on. Oh, he gave him the eye. Okay. He looking at him like, from that day forward, he gave him the eye. He was against him. Continue.
Con. Verse 10. And it came to pass on the morrow that the evil spirit from God came upon Saul, and he prophesied in the midst of the house. And David played with his hand as at other times, and there was a javelin in Saul's hand.
So Saul has a javelin, which is, like a spear. All right, he has it in his hand. He's going through one of his episodes. And David, David loves Saul. So he comes to play. See, David never got a big head. He never took what these people were saying, all their boasting. He never took that and tried to turn it against Saul. Okay, he didn't try to do any of those things because he loved him. So that's why he went to, and played with his hands as other times. Okay, continue reading.
Con. Verse 11. And Saul cast the javelin, for he said, I will smite David even to the wall with it. And David avoided out of his presence twice.
You see, got to get up out the way of it. Because Saul, he's so furious with him because all these people bragging and what they're saying. Continue reading.
Verse 12. And Saul was afraid of David, because the Lord was with him and was departed from Saul.
See, Saul knew that the Lord was with David and not with him. Continue.
Con. Verse 13. Therefore, Saul removed him from him and made him his captain over 1,000. And he went out and came in before the people.
Drop down to 16.
Con.
So
Verse
he
16.
raised him up. Hold on. He raised him up, made him captain over 1,000. Okay, continue.
Con. Verse 16. But all Israel and Judah loved David, because he went out and came in before them.
You see, David was a man of the people. Okay, he interacted with them. Okay, he wasn't too big. Continue.
Con. Verse 17. And Saul said to David, behold, my elder daughter, Merab, her will I give thee to wife. Only be thou valiant for me, and fight the Lord's battles. For Saul said, let not mine hand be upon him, but let the hand of the Philistines be upon him.
See, this is when Saul started plotting. He said, all right, the Lord is with him, so let not my hand, don't let my hand be upon him. Okay, we're gonna let the hand of the Philistines. Okay, he says, so I'm gonna give my daughter, my older daughter, for him to marry, but he's gonna require something. Continue reading.
Con. And David said unto Saul, who am I, and what is my life, or my father's family in Israel, that I should be son-in-law to the king?
He's saying, who am I? What the hell do I come from? Where do I come from that I should be a son-in-law to the king? I'm nobody. We don't come. We're not no this such a prominent family with all these riches in this name. Like what who am I that I should be the son-in-law of a king? Continue reading.
Con. Verse 19. But it came to pass at the time when Merab, Saul's daughter, should have been given to David, that she was given unto Adriel and Slakia. Adriel the Mahalathite
Mm-hmm.
to wife.
Continue. So she was supposed to be given to David, but she wasn't. Continue.
Con. Verse 20. And Michael, Saul's daughter, loved David. Also, you said what, sir?
McCall.
Oh, it's like it. And McCall, Saul's daughter, loved David. And they told Saul, and the thing pleased him. Verse 21.
Uh-huh.
And Saul said, I will give him her, that she may be a snare to him, and that the hand of the Philistines may be against him. Wherefore Saul said to David, thou shalt this day be my son-in-law, and the one of the twain.
You see, so Saul said, I'm gonna give him her, so she might be a snare to him. Good night. Continue reading.
Con. Verse 22. And Saul commanded his servants, saying, commune with David secretly, and say, behold, the king hath delight in thee, and all his servants love thee. Now therefore be the king's son-in-law.
You see, so then he commanded his servants to go to him to try to convince him, to go say these things to him, to go speak these words to him. Continue.
Con. Verse 23. And the Lord, it's like it, and Saul's servant spake those words in the ears of David. And David said, seemeth it to you a light thing to be a king's son-in-law, seeing that I am a poor man and lightly esteemed.
See, David didn't come from money. He didn't come from this high esteem. Okay, this high, prominent, rich family. He said, seem it to you a light thing to be a son of a king, you know? But I am a poor man. You know, I don't know why y'all over here trying to convince me, like, who the hell am I? Drop down to 25.
Con. Verse 25. And Saul said, thus shall ye say to David, the king desireth not any dowry, but 100 foreskins of the Philistines, to be avenged of the king's enemies. But Saul thought to make David fall by the hand of the Philistines.
You see, he knew he didn't have the money to purchase her as a wife. So he said, I don't desire any dowry, just 100 foreskins of the Philistine. Because he wanted him to go in there and fight, because hopefully the Philistines would be able to defeat him. That's what Saul was counting on and banking on. Continue reading. Or actually drop down to 27.
Con. Verse 27. Wherefore David arose and went, and he and his men, and slew of the Philistines their 200 men. And David brought their foreskins, and they gave them in full tale to the king, that he might be the king's son-in-law. And Saul gave him Michal, his daughter, to wife.
See, he asked for 100. David brought back 200. He was such a warrior, you know. And then Saul gave him Michal to wife. Okay, continue reading.
Con, verse 29. And Saul was yet more afraid of David, and Saul became David's enemy continually.
Where you at?
Verse 29.
Oh, Salakia.
Wait.
Yeah, read 28.
Yeah, I skipped 28. Salakia. Verse 28. And Saul saw and knew that the Lord was with David, and that Michal, Saul's daughter, loved him.
Continue.
Verse 29. And Saul was yet the more afraid of David, and Saul became David's enemy continually.
You see, the more that that Saul seen that the Lord was with David, the more he became his enemy continually. All right, we're going to pick this back up next week. Any questions? All right, no sweat. We can go ahead and get the security announcements.
Calm. ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK Star, the 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 months period, brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, numbers 18 and 21, and Malachi 3 and 8 through 10, means tenth in Hebrew, ma'asher. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Get into the treasury department or teacher priest fund. Free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you will like. Upcoming holy convocations.
Upcoming holy convocations. We are in the Feast of Unleavened Bread. That's the 15th day of the first month for 7 days. Started sundown April 21st, and it's until Sunday. Sundown until Sunday, April 28th, 2024, sundown. We find this in the book of Exodus, chapter 12, verses 17 through 20, and Leviticus, chapter 23, verses 6 through 8.
If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black, boots, shirts, headband, and scarf.
All right, with that, we're going to Imagium. Going to get the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. We're going to Imagium, which means stand. We're going to turn. We're going to sar. We're going to face the east. All right. Abanah. Bashamayim. Wadash. Ayah. Shamka. Yahweh. Malakluka. Tabaya. Ratazayaka. Hayah. Aisha. Barataza. Kawa. Ayah. Bashamayim. Nathan Slakia. Nathan Lanawa. Lakam. Cole. Yawam. Wasalakla Nawa. Kabawakwa Nawa. Kasalakla Nawa. Kabawakya Nawa. Wala. Tabaya Nawa. Banasayawan. Gabal. Hawashanawa. Mayan. Ayah. Laka. Amalakwath. Mahala. Lahata Parath. La'awalayim. Amen. Now in the English. Our Father which art in heaven. Hallowed be thy name, Yahweh. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. In earth as it is in heaven.
On earth as it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors.
And forgive our debts as we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom.
And the
power. and the glory
and the glory
forever.
forever.
So be it.
So be it.
All right, Yajamatah, all right, men of Israel, we give a courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Majim Shabbat, the Majim, Barak,
Yahweh Shem Yahushua Brakatah.
Yahweh Hashem Yahshua Brakatham. All right, Yajamatah, we're going to soar, face the sisters rise. All right, men of Israel, courtesy salute to the sisters. All right, men of Israel, Majim Shabbat, Majim, Barak, Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Yajamatah, class dismissed.
You gotta show me the female.